Okay, so we're on the part 2 of our symmetry here last week, and if you're not to this point, you're going to finish it this week. We're doing the rotational symmetry part, so it's going to go, it's rotating around, but you're also going to skip one in between, so it's every other. And this is where your snowflake is going to show you what this will look like. If you have your snowflake, you can see here I did pot sander. So just like the video you watched, you can see how this A, if you watch the A, is a mirror image. But then you can also see how the same sections rotate around. So when you've done this part, and just a reminder, you color on the back on top of your scrap paper, you line it up, and you press down hard with your pencil, trace over it. When you're done with that, you're going to turn it over. You're going to either hold it up to the window, or I have a little light table here. Only 2 people per window, or 2 people here at the light table at a time. And you're going to trace over your word. So my word here was awesome, and I'm looking through it. I have to go right on top of my scribble here, and I have to trace it exactly like I see it. So I'm going to be tracing it backwards. And if you look, you might have to look at it a couple times. You might have to pick it up and look at it and check and make sure you're doing it right. Also, make sure you're not using a permanent marker. Just use, I have these markers on the table that you're going to trace over. That's because if it accidentally gets on the light table or on the window, it's going to wipe right off. So my O and my E were kind of off center here. So I'm going to trace it like that. And then you're going to do the same thing. So I have awesome, trace backwards. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to now scribble over my first side. Because again, I'm making my tracing paper, and I'm going to fill in the blank spots. And again, the blank spots are going to be, it's going to be the mirror image. So here's awesome this way. I'm going to trace it this way, and your letters should match up. So the bottom of my A matches with the bottom of the A here. The top of my A should match with the top of my A. If it might be off a little bit, and that's okay. If it's off by a lot, please raise your hand and see me if you just can't quite get it to line up. Again, you should have at least some of your letters should be touching. They don't all have to be touching, but at least a couple of them should be touching, because that just makes a much better design that way. So I'm going to finish tracing this here. Let's see if you can see that.